Hello there, everybody. This is me, Oliver G, from the Eiffel Tower podcast. It's a show all about Paris. Usually I go around showing you the interesting things that are happening here, the beautiful views, the best cafes to go into, all that kind of stuff. But that's not happening at the moment because Paris is in lockdown. If you haven't been looking at the news, the whole city's been told to stay inside unless you absolutely need to go out for some kind of emergency reason or to get food or well, that's pretty much it. You can also go out for a little exercise, but what I'm doing is doing sort of regular updates. Hello, as people start coming in, regular updates about what exactly is going on while trying to provide a little bit of a little glimmer of light in this trying time. Now, I said it in the last video, I'm going to say it again. If you want to get the facts exactly straight, go to the government organizations or the news sites that are doing a very good job of covering it. But if you want to know what it's like on the ground, then you've come to the right place, because that's where I am. I'm sitting in Montmartre in lockdown Paris, and I just wanted to give you a little update because I've been doing a lot of things behind the scene that I think will be really interesting, because as I said in yesterday's podcast episode, this is a historic time for Paris. Not an historic time, because I think that's a ridiculous thing to say. It's a historic time for this city, and I think it should be documented. So the main thing today, as I wrote in that little sort of description above whatever you're watching, is that they increased the fine if you go out. Now, I actually wrote one. I wonder if I can find it. When you go out in Paris, you to get food or whatever, you need to either print off a little note that says, the reason I'm going out is to get food, the reason I'm going out is for personal exercise, or to go to the pharmacy. You need to print that out or write it out and say, I swear I'm not doing anything else, in case the police check on you. And I had to pop out today, and I saw a lot of police checking people, and I can only assume that people haven't been taking it very seriously, because they increased the fine today from, it was 35 euros before, and now it's up to 135 euros, which is that's a serious increase. It's about the same in US dollars, about 130 US dollars or 250 Australian dollars. That's where I think most of you guys are from, Australia and America. So it's you wouldn't want to be caught without your note. But the other thing that I wanted to point you guys towards is to think about how the lockdown is affecting some people in Paris. For example, seeming they've closed all the restaurants and the bars and museums and all that kind of stuff. Some of the people that are quickest affected were the restaurant and coffee shop owners. Now, if you've ever listened to my podcast before, you would know that these are the kind of people I typically talk to, and I see all the names coming up and saying hello, but I'll focus on you guys at the end. But hello to everyone. Hello, and thanks for watching live. But way back in the early days of the Eiffel Tower podcast, I had a guest on. His name was Paul. He's from Le Peloton coffee shop. Now, the guys in the coffee shops are friends of mine in Paris, many of them, and I checked in with a handful of them to see how they were doing, and I thought it was actually talking to these guys that made me think it'd be worth sharing their stories a little bit deeper for you guys to listen to, and that's exactly what I did today. I called him, Paul from Peloton, and recorded a podcast episode, which is already out. I pressed publish right before I pressed live on Facebook, so if you want to see that, you can see the link is in the description of this very video. It's just a quick link. I didn't mess around with a blog post, but I talked to him as a coffee shop owner that had to close down 4 days ago, but also he runs a tour company, bicycle tours around Paris, which they had 100% cancellations a week or two back. But he's also a father to 3 kids, so that's kind of a triple whammy of being affected by this thing, and I wanted to share his story. So that's what I did today. I spoke to him on the phone, turned it into a podcast episode. It's there to listen to, an interesting insight into Paris right now. What I also wanted to say, the sun's setting behind me, behind you really, and I'll show you that before we finish because it's looking pretty fantastic. But I wanted to keep it lighthearted, so I'll tell you a little story about something that I'm doing today and something that I typically do on Wednesdays in Paris. I invented it. My friends give me, I don't know how impressed they are that I invented this, but I'm pretty impressed with it. Is every Wednesday I text my friends and I say, hey, here's a bar I've never been to, or here's a restaurant Why Not Wednesday? Let's go check it out. Why not? And it sort of became a thing, and I've talked about it on the show before. It's a way that I got to know Montmartre and Paris really well. Just throw it out there. If no one comes, it's just me sitting in the bar by myself. I'm used to that as well. That's all right. But a little example of how Parisians are coming together. I'll give you two examples. This one first is me and my group of friends are going to have a similar Why Not Wednesday, but online tonight. People are going to meet up in about an hour and all just sit there chatting like we usually would. So it's those kind of things that are happening. How Paris is a little bit different. I'll give you another one. In 45 minutes from now, when it hits 8 o'clock, everybody goes out on their balconies and they cheer and they applaud and they sort of make noise for the healthcare workers as a way of saying thank you. So I'd heard this would be the case, and I caught it last night. It was pretty touching, but it was quite quiet. I don't think everybody knows about it yet, but I can foresee that this will get louder and more impressive as time goes on. So I'll try and film that. I put a film clip of it from yesterday on my Instagram stories. If you're not following on Instagram, you're missing a lot of good stuff. So I still got to show you the view. But the other one thing I wanted to mention, if you feel like a laugh, if you feel like a good laugh, go and follow on Instagram. I didn't put the link there, but you can figure it out. The Eiffel Tower. I showed you how to make a flat white coffee like you'd find in all the good coffee shops in Paris. I showed you how to make it at home with the kind of typical ingredients you get from a lockdown supermarket in Paris. I'm talking normal milk. I don't want to give it away, but a lot of people gave me some serious grief for my efforts. Others seemed pretty impressed, and a few of the local cafes chimed in as well. Go and check that out. It's on Instagram right now. Before I show you that view, I've got one more thing to show you. See the way that this is all natural light on the wall behind me? If you are also in lockdown and fancy reading a book, go and check my book club out. Totally free to join. There's about 900 people talking about books. We've been doing it for 18 months. Here, I got them ready. Here's a selection of some of the past books. Many of these people I've interviewed the author. Look, David Leibovitz, Elaine Scialino, Caroline de Maigret, David Downey, John Baxter, Cara Black. These are all people I've had on the show talking about these books. But me, oh my goodness, that's not going to happen. I also got a book pile of books I plan to read. I've been sharing them in the book club. Be sure to check them out. Look at that one on top, Paris on Air. It's free, it's on Facebook. I want you to check it out because we'll get through this together and we may as well have some fun while we're doing it. As a thank you for watching and for commenting and sending your likes. You hear that sound of the scooter? It's very rare to hear any kind of sound coming up from the streets of Paris, but I'll show you the view. Give me 1 second. Alright, usually when I go out in Paris I'd have like a stabilizer with me. I don't want to invade on the neighbor's privacy. I think they're on their balcony too, but look, it's just handheld at the moment. This is my best effort, but this is a pretty good place if you're going to be in self-distance quarantine. And I think you all know what that thing is there. As usual, on display. Nothing can take that one away from us. And that'll be sparkling on the hour, every hour, as per usual. But look, that was just a little... that was just me tuning in, giving you a little daily update. Check that link. Oh, that podcast is available. It's me and Paul from Peloton. I want you to listen to it. I want you to give me some feedback so I know what to keep doing, who to talk to. If you think you got a good guest or a good idea, let me know. And yeah, let's keep that positivity going because that's the best way to get through this. I'll see you very soon, maybe even tomorrow. Thanks for watching.